Hello, everybody. Good to see y'all. As per usual, I am messing around with a few different streams here, so we will also get Instagram onto here in just a moment. All right, so anybody who's over there will be able to catch up as we go along. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, we're gonna try all kinds of things here. So, first of all, let's we can talk about these. We can talk about all these things. Like this will be fun. We got all the stuff. There is this video just came out. If you guys haven't seen it, the video for these guys. I'm using empty cans. But yeah, the new can koozies got turned loose. We have another one of these. There we are. There's the new one. Yeah. So the files for all of these are now in Teleport, so anybody can get a hold of them if they want to. And yeah, they look amazing. So I'm just gonna have my pink Yeti beer koozie wandering around. Oh, what's up, David? Yeah, you should finish it. It's a really good video. The design of these things is a really great study in how to get exactly what you want without compromising anything. Because a lot of people always get into a mode of thinking that the restrictions stop them from doing something, but they don't. The restrictions simply set the rules of what you're able to do. And then if you work within those restrictions and just say, okay, fine, these are the rules, then you can still create something really awesome that people will enjoy. So yeah, but yeah, you can get a hold of these over on Teleport and add them into your Etsy stores if you want to. So all of these designs are over there. They're all called the can shot inside of the catalog files on Teleport. So you can absolutely see them over there. And we'll continue to add more files. So we have a number of these things starting to get broken loose. We're probably going to turn loose about 50 files into catalog here in the next little while. And then we have additional designers coming on too. So it's going to be all kinds of fun. But yeah, all of these things are coming around. Everybody's coming from the video. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions about that video, because obviously we got them here so we can break down stuff. So it should be fun. Just saw your video for the can koozie. Yeah. How's it going, Chuck? Yeah, that video turned loose a moment ago. I hope it does well. We're going to see how it goes well. Had a little bit of a snafu with the publishing of it, but yeah, should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Any questions that anybody has about the design of them all? So like you can see, that's not the camera that we're talking to. This is the camera I'm talking to. You can see how the fins are inside of there. It's a really, really slick design because it'll never wear out. It looks great. We got the handle on the side of these new versions too and all the rest of it. So it's a really, really nifty product. And yeah, Michael Satterley, he's not the original designer of even these launcher koozies. It came from a number of different people who have had versions of it in the past. Michael Satterley made it a thing on TikTok. And kudos to him. That is fantastic that he was able to build a 3D printing business that large and reliable. But yeah, it's a great product because it's really nifty. And we were able to improve upon it, which I always love when we can obviously improve upon the original design because it just improves stuff. Yeah, guys down on Instagram, you can see what this thing looks like. This is the stuff that we've been working on. Engineering talking. I've got multiple different cameras. I'm over here and down here. This is Instagram. This is YouTube. All right. What else? Does anybody have any particular questions about growing a business or what you can do with these? Since the files are in Teleport, if you have an Etsy store connected to Teleport, you can immediately add these as a listing to your Teleport store. And over on Slant Pod, we have demo photos, product photos, a demo product description, all those kinds of things. You're good, man. No worries. And then let's see here. What else? But yeah, these are over there. So slantpod.com if you want to get a hold of them. And yeah, let me know if there's any questions. Where is everybody coming from? How many people do we have in the States or in other places? Where is everybody? We got East Coast, West Coast, India, Europe. Who all is here? We'll get it all revved up. A few people will start coming in. Dallas, Florida, Arizona. What's up? Most useful, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Nice. What's up, Marco P4? We got Philippines. Oh, nice. Oregon. I'm originally from Oregon. I come from not the wet side of Oregon. I come from the dry side of Oregon, the high desert part of Oregon. California, Morocco, in the house. What's up? Toru 3D, how's it going, man? Algeria. Ooh, good times. And then we've got Savannah, Georgia. Designed for 3D printing, Max Chamfer. That uses chamfer on everything. First layer, chamfer every time. I actually did break that rule on this one, but this one was printed with fuzzy skin. So you can get away with the roughness that comes from a fillet on the bottom. That was the reason we allowed that. Olympic Peninsula of Washington State. Nice. Cool. What do you guys want to go over? Questions, comments, concerns? A bunch of you watched the video. What do you think of it? What do you think we ought to do with it? What should we do next with it? What are other versions of this? We can put like holders on the side. We could put like a vape pen right there, and we can change it out for Bud Light. Quebec, how's it going? We probably are going to do the other variations around like monster cans, White Claw, those types of things, and stylizing it a little bit more. Why did you opt for your own 3D printers versus what's already built, like Bamboo and Prusa? So the reason we use our own printers inside of our print farm as much as we possibly can, we do have one third-party machine that we use to help us get more machines really fast when we need them. But the reason you want to use your own machines is that none of the machines on the shelf are designed to be in print farms. They are consumer electronics devices, which means that they burn out, wear out, and we also don't have control of them because Bamboo can push a software update or Prusa can push a software update, and all of our machines then change. Also, the machines themselves are just not designed to be in a 3D printer farm. They're meant to be prototyping tools. So a really simple example of this is every machine that you purchase off the shelf has a display on it. You don't need that display in a factory. I don't need every one of our machines to have a display. So a lot of our current machines, we scan a barcode on them and it pops up the control panel of the machine on our control app. So we don't need a control panel on the machines because we're not plugging SD cards into them or something like that. But if we buy those machines, we have to pay for a control panel that we will not be using. So there's those types of things. It's just an optimization. Plus, if we're using those consumer machines, if you have to replace 10 machines a year, that's not that big of a deal. Like most print operations can eat that cost because the margins are fine. But if you have to replace 1,000 machines every 18 months, that's really expensive. NVIDIA GPUs are meant to last for 5 years. So I think our 3D print factories should at least have a system that can last that long. Yeah. It's all about optimization inside the factory. What other questions do people have? Around the print farm, anything else? Yeah, our main mega farm here at Slant 3D is spec'd out for 3,000 machines. We always say anybody who uses teleport gets 1,000 machines in their pocket. And it's handy. It's handy as all get out to immediately have that capacity available. Because yeah, literally, like Michael Satterley, who was making these things, they got behind to where it was taking them like 2 weeks to ship their orders there. This new design, if he just wanted to plug into teleport, he could produce 2 to 10,000 of these things a day. So he would immediately get past that production bottleneck that he had from his in-house 3D printers. Because he's running a whole bunch of A1s, and those do burn out after a while. But you also just run out with all kinds of other issues. How did you align the rails of your own printers? Isn't that shit hard? No. You just build a factory for building the printers, and then you jig it all up so that stuff goes together correctly. Also, the way our printers are designed, they can't really go into misalignment. They don't have screws or parts that have to be aligned. As you put them together, they settle into the correct shape. That's one of the big unlocks of our machines, was just the fact that the longer you use them, the better they get. Whereas machines that have screws in them rattle apart over time because that's what screws do. Our machines have a total of 16 screws, I think. And actually, the new generation has even fewer than that. I think we deleted another 4 screws. Do you guys also do assemblies with electronics if my model needs lights, motors? We do allow third-party parts. So inside of Teleport, when you're in catalog, I'll show this to folks here. I should have access to catalog. Yeah, here we go. Let me refresh this just to make sure it's still working. Otherwise, it'll log me out, do something silly. But window, this one, sure. There we go. Yeah, that's okay. We're all good. Right here, when you're going through and doing a match, if you go ahead and create a match, and I'll do a manual SKU entry. SKU, amazing. You select the file, and then you can go up here into components, and then here are all the parts and pieces that can be included. So we have light puck, drywall screw, Velcro, Bluetooth bulbs, all this stuff, charging pucks, a water weight bottle, all this stuff. Magnets, those can all be included with the parts. So when the order is made, the part is printed, and then all these parts are collected and thrown in the box too, so that a person can put together the final product on the other side. What did you replace the screws with? Nothing? Friction fits and good design and brilliance. Some wherewithal, duct tape. Can we brand those cups? Not currently. If you guys want, we will probably build a configurator to where you can change the logo on the front of this thing. But we want that still to be integrated with Teleport so that as soon as you create that logo, it can go into your Teleport store. So right now, yeah, the files have that Slant logo on the front, but it looks crisp and clean. What about this cost of assembly of those parts? Is it included? If you're in Enterprise, we'll quote what the cost of assembly is because, yeah, to do the assembly, we'll just get it estimated for you and sit it in there. So anybody who's on the Enterprise tier of Teleport can get a hold of assembly for sure. But yeah, it varies because if somebody is putting in 20 screws, that's different from somebody putting in 1 screw. So we just quote that for you based on your product. Also, if you want custom branding, we have the custom card insert where you can just upload a picture here and then that will print with every one of your orders. And that's a great way to get custom branding or a QR code into your Teleport items with you. And then, yeah, of course, if you're in files, you just flip here to catalog. And then here are all these files. And down here at the bottom are those CanShot files. Let me get rid of the upgrade. So there they are. Here's this one. Here's this one. And then there's that one. And then we made a new version of the tall. So there's ones with kind of thin fins that are sort of a light touch. And then there's ones with thicker fins that are really tough and strong. I wasn't going to say brutal, but no, it's strong. Yeah, so those are those things. What else, folks? We got that thing, and the other thing. Sweet. What does this do? I'm seeing all kinds of new controls. How's it going, folks? Instagram? Moving around weird. How's it going, Steven, Smith, Aaron, KPF? What's up, guys? Good to see you. You guys see the things? See our new can shooters? Boom. Bam! Because that's what everybody's wanting. No, yeah, this thing sold $300,000 in a month. You people over on Instagram, you should go over to YouTube, watch the video about these things. Okay. What else? I'm missing stuff. We got... How many people here are running a 3D printing business right now? Who is making parts, printing parts, shipping parts, that kind of stuff? See if we can help you out. What's like your bottleneck too? If you're running a print business, what is the thing that's slowing you down right now? Is it capacity? Is it product design? That kind of stuff. This is for folks who are established, who are currently doing things. Because if you're not getting started, your trick is to get started. You got to get started. That's the rule. You just have to get started. Yeah. Let's see. The other pieces of info. The design for this thing, again, files up on Teleport. Oh, we got a thing. Parts? The biggest bottleneck is something I want to sell. Prefer my own designs, but FreeCAD Infusion is killing me. So, Vivani, it is totally fine to license models. I would say that many of the biggest 3D printing farms out there are licensing models, because the value of 3D printing is that you can create 100 SKUs and be selling all of those without giving yourself more work. So download 100 files and create listings around them. If you're slowed up by you designing stuff, don't do that, because you designing stuff is too much work. Literally, you could get into Teleport and you have 100 files right here. 100 cookie cutters to start a cookie cutter store, and 100 other files that you could include or add in or whatever it was. So all of these are sitting here, and it's easy to get a hold of. We will probably start releasing nightlights for this in a little bit. There's nightlights, there's cookie cutters. Obviously, these types of things are showing up over there. And then we have about 50 other kind of like highly engineered models, so that if you're a Teleport user, you get access to those files and they will print and ship for you in under 2 days. So I highly suggest that. But most things I want are not on the market yet or overpriced. That doesn't have to be for what it does. And I'm a software developer, not an engineer for products. I'm sure you can find. I'll give me the idea of the thing that you want. I'll bet we can find it for you. I'm going to go ahead, go out of manual match mode. Just shut the whole thing down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Filaments. Oh, I don't have the match anymore. Going back to matches. Let's see. What is the other stuff? Got files over here. Oh, yeah. If you go to catalog files right here, you can view all the catalog files. This is another good way to do it. And inside of matching, they are all right there if you want to get a hold of them. Not much. I think they are usable. Not much how I think they are usable. Oh, that's fair. Can you tell us what industry is the top printing farms that you the parts we make the most of? I cannot reveal our individual clients and stuff, but genres of products that I have seen that do well are cookie cutters. Cookie cutters do very well. On Etsy, it's very public. If you look at cookie cutter stores, many of them have more than 10,000 sales. And a lot of them have gone to 100,000 sales. The trick with cookie cutters is that you need a lot of them, and then you need to build out the store and work at it for a while. Cookie cutters are a good one. Tools and functional parts are a good one. You can find individual examples by just looking for it continuously. So like right now, Instagram feeds me 3D printed products that other people never see, because it knows that I'm looking for these types of things. So I see these things before a lot of people do when they have 200 followers on Instagram. But this item sold $300,000 worth of it in a single month. This is a type of product that works really well. If you can find something demonstrable on video, that's great, because you have a marketing baseline. But whenever you're picking products, make sure that you are picking something that you want. That way you know how to communicate it. You know why it's important, all of these things. What about food safety on PLA and PET G? Is fully qualified by the FDA to be food safe. It's fine. PLA, also fine. It's a biological plastic, and nothing anywhere in 3D printing creates a contamination hazard. Have you ever eaten salad out of a plastic box? There is more microplastics and more contamination from that than from a 3D printed anything. If I went and licked the side of this, I'm not going to, because other people's hands have been on this. But I could lick that. Nothing about the plastic is a problem. There's nothing unfood safe around 3D printed stuff. That is a wild, wild myth from a bunch of people on Reddit who do not know what they're talking about. I'm sorry. This one makes me angry because it's just so wildly and obviously wrong, and yet it gets propagated. 3D printing is perfectly food safe. It's fine. Sorry, that one gets me. Got me all riled up. I should go full deadpan. I should be on the podcast and just be completely unresponsive. Just talk like this, completely monotone. Never really raise a voice or change my cadence in order to make sure that there's nothing that really sticks out. So when you get a can shooter, you can trust me that food safety is very irritating to me, but not something that I'm going to get super riled about. Actually, what's funny about that is the way I just did that is I had inflection. That was more of like just subtly sarcastic. There's like the Richard Iowati awkwardness, and I don't do awkward that well. I can't do awkward. Well, like awkward. Hang on, let me do awkward. Let me get to like awkwardly slow. Hi, we're going to talk about the 3D printing today. This is the new can shooter. It's one of the best can shooters you can find out there. And we're going to try to see if we can get, that's terrible. Everybody's going to leave the stream. Oh, Craig Ferguson, awkward pars. There's your awkward pause. Okay. What about a can shooter? More aiming at the cookie cutters and something like a lettuce strainer or whatever. Things that actually contact food. This is a can shooter. It's totally fine. A lettuce strainer, totally fine. It's not, you don't have calf blood stored in it. Totally fine. Cookie cutters, totally fine. All those things are totally fine. So long as you're not a college student, letting mold grow into it for 3 months and then washing it without soap and expecting that to be perfect. Aside from that, 3D printing is pretty much fine. Any thoughts on how to avoid a race to the bottom on pricing if everyone is selling the same designs on Teleport? That doesn't even happen. Like here's a perfect example. Everybody, this is a non-issue because there are not that many people selling as people think, and there's not that much competition as people think. So let's go to, I'm going to go to Thangs. Let's go to Thangs. I'm going to look at the most popular designer, and let's go to Crafty Kid 3D. Let's look at what they got. They got popular items. They got a lot of downloads. Okay, so you've probably seen these types of bookmarks before. They are all very nice, look great, all this kind of stuff. This looks like a product that you would want to sell. Oh, but everybody can download them, so there can't be that thing. There's been 250,000 model downloads. There's been 18,000 total downloads. Oh, wow, there's 18,000 people out there selling? Oh, no. This is the most recent one. It has 16 downloads. There's 16 people on the planet with this model. Buy the commercial license. No one else is selling this one. That looks like an AI-generated image. Is there an eyeball that he shoves into this? I think they did an AI upscale on this to give it the real eyeball and then didn't clear it all the way. Oh, I think so. But anyhow, the point is like this designer has thousands of downloads, but this item only has 16. And based on these downloads, most of these are personal use. Rough numbers, you could say, hey, 1 out of 10 downloads is a commercial license. Okay, sweet. Whatever. There's one other guy out there with it. You know how many companies make shoes? There are thousands of companies that make shoes. And yet Nike somehow seems to do okay. And a lot of other shoe companies seem to do okay. The product is only one tiny part of the business. Like, this is stupidly important to understand that the product is not the important part in the business. The product is like 10% of the business. The idea for the product is like 1% of the business. If you're creating a product, you still have to do the marketing, the sales, buying ads, figuring out how to list it. All of those things are parts that create value for this to where a customer buys your product. So it doesn't really matter that there's 10, 100, or 1,000 other people selling the same item, if that happens to even be the case. It matters if you can do all the rest of it well. Can you ship faster? Can you take better photos? All of those things create differentiation. Or you can literally, rather than making a tactical black version of this, make a pink version of this, and now you're selling to women who want to replace their Yetis, but still want to use a White Claw. So there's all kinds of other components of the business that create competitive advantage to where you can actually get something sold while you're still selling the same thing as everybody else. Nike sells shoes that everybody else can manufacture, but Nike seems to sell a lot more of them than everybody else. Why is that? Commodity markets are never a problem. It is always, can you operate at a high level on all parts of the business, not just the product? Because this is not the thing that sells. Everything else is the thing that sells. Any thoughts on how to, yeah. Do you do anything to check for proper licensing of models, or is it not really a concern right now? Oh, we do. Every item can be flagged and reported to us, and we will pull it down. Literally last week, we had a designer reach out to us and say, hey, somebody is selling on portals with my designs and they don't have a license for it. And we had it taken down that day. And then we talked to the designer and said, hey, do you want to hedge your files to catalog so you can get a royalty from them? So we fixed that. And that way we have a record of like core truth, and the designer has an alternative stream of income. And then the pirate can continue selling it, but they're not pirating anymore. They're just paying a royalty for it. So it's better for everybody. It's very much like iTunes, to where iTunes made it convenient enough to stream music that people stopped pirating music, because they're like, I can buy it for 99 cents on iTunes. I get it down. The music label ended up making more. People got the songs they wanted. It was easier than torrenting it, and everybody got paid. So it improved the music industry in a lot of different ways. And that's what we want to do with files. We're kind of announcing catalog next week and talking through this problem in more detail. But yeah, catalog should make it better for everybody, from the designers to the printers to the sellers, so that piracy isn't really an issue. It's just a better, easier way of getting the models sold, and the designer gets another stream of income. Oh yeah, absolutely. The designers are creating the useful stuff. You have to protect the designers. If for some reason we had wild piracy going on teleporter portals, that had shut us down immediately, because the designers are the ones creating the value. The sellers are adding value too, because they market and sell the thing, but the designers are creating the items. So in order to have a functional app store, the people who make the apps have to see return from it and also be protected from it. So yeah. What are the trending designs today? Multi-board. Multi-board is rolling. So yeah, if you look at multi-board is also a great example. A multi-bin. Let's see this. 5,000 downloads. Okay, cool. That looks great. Yeah, that looks great. Good for them. Man, yeah, I love the multi-board, guys. The design for the multi-board is really good, works really well, and is an improvement over Gridfinity, because the multi-board can like wall mount and that kind of stuff, which Gridfinity could never do. So multi-board, yeah, is a really great idea, and so much possibility with it. Wow, yeah. What else, folks? What do we got? Branding. Just want to use a way through, as you said. Just going to use a way through as you, what? Pontiac printing press? What do you say? Working on my website today, realized I needed to switch my model from Opus to Sonnet to save some tokens. Pontiac printing press, you might just move over to Lovable. If you're full coding from scratch or so, it might not be worth it. But we're going to release a few videos here soon about how to vibe code around the Slant 3D API. So you can one-shot it, and that'll save you a bunch of tokens. What's up, King Arthur? Puerto Rico, good times. Robert, hello. Good to see everybody. How's it going? Do you think we're at a beginning of innovation for 3D printed products? Because like you said before, there are things you could only create by 3D printing. Yeah, we're super early at the beginning of 3D printed products. 3D printed products have so much room to run, because you can create new geometries that were never possible before, and designers are just starting to realize what they can do there. Lamps is like a great example. All the lamps that can be created that could never be made before are now being made. But also the fact that 3D printing is now scalable. The fact that you can get 1,000 machines without having to build them yourself. You can just plug them in through teleport, and then your store has 1,000 machines. That allows designers and product creators and companies to invest in designing for 3D printing and know that they actually have distribution and production available. Because even 3 years ago, if you're like, oh, we're going to make a 3D printed product, we got to find a print farm. Well, you can build it yourself. Well, we don't want to run 20 machines changing out filament that aren't meant to run a factory. well, you can use these guys. They got 100 machines. We want to sell 1,000 of these things a day. Why would we invest in this product? Now that that scale exists, people can actually create real products and know that the distribution and manufacturing chain is in place. And that's very recent. So now people can actually invest in designing products for 3D printing and know that there's infrastructure. That's a huge unlock for the world. So now, yeah, designers can really go crazy. How's it going, AdStrat? What else we got, folks? I'm looking at the multi-board. Multi-board, man, I love the guys at multi-board are doing such a great job. Let me just call out the multi-board project for a minute because it's such a great 3D printing project to create this universal baseline kind of component and then use 3D printing to create all the variations around it. So you can have connectors and spacers and all this other stuff that can all be made with 3D printing. And you now can build out this ecosystem where there are just these thousands of parts to where you could not possibly manufacture those with molding because there's too many different variations. But printing allows you to make all those different variations. And that's a really, really big deal. So yeah, I think it's super exciting to see what people are doing with multi-board because it's a perfect example of how 3D printing with unlimited design capability enables it because you can make any of them on demand. You can make them at scale with a system like Teleport that gives you 1,000 machines, but you get to create all these variations that you just could not create tooling for before. And multi-board is a fantastic example of this. They're also designed to be really efficient. Like people have run multi-board parts through us before and they've can do it affordably. We will probably, if anybody is out there watching this stream who has in with the team at multi-board, I haven't directly talked to them before, but like the multi-board team, we would love to work with to like bring on a Teleport and like import all the multi-board parts so they can be included as like add-ons to existing production parts. So if you're like doing a tool set, you can add in a multi-board set and that increases the value of the tool set. Got an order on Shopify, and when I went to Teleport, I have to manually submit it for it to print. Is there a way for the order to start printing right away without me having to manually select it? So is there a way in Teleport to have the order start printing right away? The very first order going through Teleport, you need to create the match for, which is easy, and then you have to submit that. Every order after that is automatic. Or if for some reason you've been running for a bit and you're manually submitting orders, if you go into account settings and then just flip manual mode on and off, you can turn on automatic fulfillment. So any item that is matched to us will automatically start printing and shipping. And that's the way to get it done. Okay. How many products a day would you have to sell for you to recommend people to justify paying for Teleport? Brand DMZ. So $5 per product average. How many products a day should you sell? If you're selling a product for $5, your item is too cheap. In e-commerce, you need to hit a product that costs somewhere between $30 and $50. That's the average purchase price on e-commerce that pays for itself because you generally have to pay about $15 to acquire the customer, and then you got to make the thing. So if you're selling an item for $5, you probably cannot afford to do it on e-commerce because the person is going to pay $5 for the item and then they're going to pay $5 for shipping. So that's just not even a good deal. But if they pay $25 for the item and $5 for shipping, that's more encouraging. So what you want to do is bundle together a group of items or create a package or create a bigger item that is in that $25 to $50 range. And now each time you sell the item, it works and you can afford to buy ads and you can afford to pay people and you can afford to run the system. At $5 or so, you're just never going to make a profit and people won't buy it because it's not worth their time to put in a credit card and they just aren't interested in it. So you have to make it really compelling and make it expensive enough to where you can make money and it's compelling to the customer. Because if you're down in $5, you just can't make a living with it online. A really good tool is 3dprintpricecalculator.com, and you can mess through all the stuff. And that will show you kind of how to price your products in a way that is useful. As to when it works for selling on Teleport, you should just do the math yourself. So Teleport only costs $20 a month. And for $20, you get access to 1,000 3D printers. It is really amazing that for $20 a month, you get to access to 1,000 3D printers. Otherwise, you would have to build 1,000 3D printers, which will cost you a few $100,000. But Teleport gives you 1,000 printers for 19 bucks, and parts will ship out in under 2 days. So you get packing, shipping, fulfillment, warehousing, and a whole factory for 20 bucks a month, along with third-party components and light pucks and supply chain, all of that stuff taken care of for you so you don't have to deal with it. 2 cups of coffee, 3 cups of coffee, and you get a factory to work for you. That's really incredible and unlike anything that's been possible before. Because if you ever wanted to make a product like this before, you would have to spend thousands of dollars for at least the molds, and then you have to spend thousands more dollars to get the product in. Now you get all of that infrastructure and fulfillment and international shipping and all this other stuff for 19 bucks a month. And that's a sign of how amazing the world is right now, that you get access to that type of technology without having to build it all yourself. So yeah, Teleport is you only have to sell like 3 or 4 items at like that $25 a month thing, and Teleport immediately pays for itself, and you're profitable on the backside of it all. So it's that's just really exciting. My subscribers want a marble track booster, similar to Hot Wheels boosters, but for marbles. Do you offer a special motor that can be used if I design a part that can be used to speed up the marbles? Oh, interesting. We could add it in. You'd have to find the motor that would work for you, Alex. But I'm not against it. That's a cool idea. And actually, Alex, what you could do with that is if it goes really fast, it could be the way to return the marbles to the top. Like they come down the bottom and then it speed runs these marbles like up a tube and it like shoots them up the tube. Or you just put like 100 marbles in there and then each one is pushed up the tube and you just have like this little roller track at the bottom that pushes them back up to the top. That'd be sick. Yeah. Are the printing and shipping prices the same on Portals and Teleport for the same file? The printing costs the cost for the item may be a little bit different on Portals, because on Portals you're selling it. So we have sales tax and regular tax and returns, which is different from Teleport when all that stuff is handled by you. So on Portals, we're running a marketplace, which means we have payment processing fees and sales tax and that kind of thing, which don't exist in Teleport because you're paying those to Etsy or Shopify. So Portals will have a little bit different pricing because it's not just the cost to print it, it's the cost to host it and deliver and pay payment processing fees and things. Because you're getting so many more things with Portals, because you're getting a store, a website, fulfillment, and all the printing, of course. Whereas with Teleport, you're just getting the printing and the shipping for your existing Etsy store. What are your thoughts on services like PCBWay and JLC PCB? What do jobs with laser press brakes, water jets, as well as 3D printing? They're fine, but they're like prototyping services where they're meant for like someone who's not building a final product, but somebody who's making a box. Also, PCBWay and the rest of them, I think, are more expensive than Teleport, which I'm very excited about. Depending on the part and that kind of thing, PCBWay and the other ones are just more expensive, even for a prototype, whereas Teleport is doing it at production. And Teleport is also faster because you don't have international shipping delays, and you also don't have tariff costs. So Teleport is a huge unlock compared to those other ones. Plus, those other ones require manual insertion of the order, whereas Teleport, you plug it into your store, and when you get an order, it starts printing automatically. So they're not even similar services. PCBWay and those kind of things are like for engineers to get a part for a prototype they're working on, and Teleport is built for production. I've got this part. I might have to deliver 1,000 orders of them tomorrow when I send out an email. That's what Teleport's for. Or I run a small Etsy store and I do an order a month, and I don't want to have to remember and manually enter it when it goes by. That's what Teleport is for. It would be awesome if Portals had a front page store that showcased all uploaded products. I think that would be really good update so you can browse all uploaded products. Metal FASD, what does it do for you? What is the functionality that gives to you? Because Portals is designed for folks who have like an Instagram and they can post a Portal store to their Instagram really fast, or a link to their Portals listing. Sharing on Portals, what does it do for you? Because it doesn't really increase traffic, because the people who are browsing Portals are mainly sellers, so they're not looking to shop for stuff. And it doesn't like, yeah, it doesn't, I don't know, what does it do? What is like the unlock for that? Plus, your own portal store is searchable on Google. So if people go looking for your item, they can find your item on Google search. So it doesn't like increase traffic over there. And putting them all together on a portals page doesn't like improve the search on Google necessarily. And we still have to like moderate that page because bluntly, a lot of stuff on portals is not very good. People will upload like test files and those kind of things, and I don't want those showing up in a discovery page. So what is the value to you? What is it that you're looking for from that portals discovery page that would be really useful to you? Because yeah, I'd love to hear from portal sellers about like the stuff that you need. We've had a number of people start to break loose. A YouTuber the other day uploaded a product, and it's this cup holder for his stroller, and oh, inspiration, brand inspiration. Isn't that kind of just stealing other people's ideas? Which again is fine because the idea is not the thing. Like you're allowed to take inspiration from other people. But if you need inspiration, scroll on Maker World. And it's actually almost better because it's more random stuff, whereas portals might be more targeted. You can also scroll Etsy and those kind of things. So I don't know how the discovery platform on portals adds more than like discovery on this does. Press print. How many people did press print have? Oh, wow. Interesting. Here's the thing, guys. Like, this is an interesting problem. These items, like Sonic and this kind of stuff right here, are illegal. Like, you cannot use these IPs to create these products. They're great because they create a lot of downloads, but you can't do that because it's not your stuff. So this is weird because like he doesn't have that many downloads. Does he have a ton of downloads on these? 77 downloads, not a ton of downloads, but a ton of followers. Interesting. Interesting. What are these stats? 2 months ago. Yeah. Let's go here. Press print is it? I saw his Instagram just the other day, so it's like a recent thought. Not a lot of downloads, even though it has traffic to it. Wait a second. This is weird. Oh, I didn't know this. This has 5 downloads, 8 likes, but it has 7,000 page views. That's a weird conversion rate. Or maybe stats are wrong or something like that. But that's confusing. Interesting. Oh, promo in the Patreon. I wonder Things membership. How many Things memberships does he have? Paid, free. How many free does he have? I'm just like exploring around now. Interesting. Yeah, the problem with a lot of these. Oh, this is cool. I like these. These look cool. I think this is probably still IP, but they look cool. I just like that shape. I need to make a ball like that out of something. All right. Google crawl fails due to missing robots.txt on portals and storefronts. There's a robots.txt on portals. We do portals as a React site. So, well, not a React site, but a Vue site, which means it has to be rendered each time. But that then is submitted to Google, both the page and everything else. Let me check something here. Really? Maybe we pushed an update there. Let me check something. Because we did some weird stuff there. Hold on. We did an update to portals fairly recently, and maybe the robots.txt got removed. Let me see here. Let me chase this down a bit. Thank you, Rick, for letting me know about that. That's terribly helpful because yeah, that would put a kibosh to a whole bunch of search if that's missing currently. I'm sorry, guys, but like this is a big deal. If this is missing, we need to get this up because yeah, the search would be thrown out of whack. It's weird because we push a lot of search traffic over there, and we haven't seen the drop in traffic. So I will see what's up. Yeah. Okay. That's possible. No. We'll check into it. I'll have the guys check onto it. That's just weird. Well, yeah, thanks for letting me know, Rick. We'll see if there's something we can do with that. What else, folks? Probably gonna go for I don't know how long we've been alive right now. Oh, there's a bunch of folks around. Yeah, thank you so much for letting us know about that, Rick, and for contacting support. I will shoot a message over to support there that we got it covered already. Because support is just going to pass it to the person that I just emailed to double check on this. Cool. This is why we do these streams. I get direct feedback, and then we immediately get to make sure stuff gets fixed. This is fantastic. People don't recognize the value of all this stuff. Thank you so much, Rick. That's a really, really big deal. I appreciate that. If that is indeed missing right now, that's definitely needs fixed because that's for everybody who's watching who doesn't know what just happened. The robot.txt file is a file that basically every website should have, and it defines how the crawler should be viewing your website. It defines who's allowed, what the crawler should be doing, if they're say you can say don't crawl inside of it. If it's not present, Google will still crawl the website, but it won't like your website. And that can hurt your Google search rankings. So for a service that is a marketplace that is trying to drive traffic to people to sell stuff, if the robots.txt disappears, then your Google search rankings can tank and have all kinds of problems. Most websites, if you're building a Shopify or Wix, automatically has this generated because you obviously want to get search on that. Since Portals is a fully scratch-built platform, when we push a software update or something like that, then the TXT cannot get updated or gets deleted, or people are messing around in the repo and jack something up. There's ways for it to get broken. So it's important to have around. So if you're ever developing a website from scratch and you don't know about this, make sure your robots.txt is inside of there. Otherwise, you're going to have a really difficult time getting traffic to the website. So I deeply hope that that is not what's going on right now. Because again, like the traffic, we follow the stats on Portals for a while, and the traffic hasn't seen a fall off or something there, and isn't. So I feel like there's something missing in that, but still worth investigating because if it's possibly gone, we need to get it out of there. And Rick knows what he's talking about, so I'm going to bet that there's something missing. That's weird. So yeah. There you go. There, just a little bit of behind the scenes of one of the problems that happens during the day when you're working on this kind of stuff. How's it going? Instagram, what's up? 16 Crafts. How's it going, guys? Folks over here. What do you guys want to go over? We've been talking around the print farm and around items and products and that kind of stuff. Ooh, this is cool. I didn't talk about this. I'm using this as a pencil cup. This is actually a koozie. That's better. Just all the koozies that you can make. Here are things. Go start one of these stores. Nobody's made a koozie store yet. And yes, I'm saying this out loud. And I'm going to say this to all those people who are like, what are ideas you should make? And I'm like, download these from Portal, add these from portals, download this from things, get the commercial license, and you're selling. And the people will like these. Make TikToks about them. They're super demonstrable. Like, we love this because it's a great TikTok product because you can demo it like that. And it just works well. So there you go. Go start up a koozie business and sell them to restaurants directly. You could do this branded to a particular restaurant and like put a sports team thing across there or Dave and Buster's, and these would be the koozies at the restaurant. Ooh, we should do that. That'd be sick. But anywho, what else, folks? We probably got about time for my 5-hour commute back to Seattle. Watch you later. 5-hour commute, dude. I know it's Friday, so you must be. Where did you travel to that was 5 hours away from Seattle? So you spent the week there, or do you literally live or commute 5 hours every day? Because I don't believe that you commute 5 hours every day. When you use teleport, what's the absolute lowest profit margin you can survive off of when selling? This is independent from teleport. You should go to 3D print price calculator, and then you can set your margin to 0, and that's your break even. Go to 3dprintpricecalculator.com. Actually, let me share this with everybody. Printpricecalculator.com. Oops. Calculator. Yep, still not spelling it right. I'm going to ruin everybody's life. 3dprintpricecalculator.com. Yes, I did that. Weekly commute. Yeah, that sounds right, David. Okay. So are you going further into Washington, or are you going south to not Portland, but it could be Portland. Yeah. Where do you commute to if you live in Seattle? And we live in an age of remote work. So you're doing something hands-on. So you're not a developer or like marketing. You watch this podcast, so you work in 3D printing. So I'm going to bet plumber. What do you do, David? You're in physical stuff because you have to be present and working on it. Distribution? You live in Seattle, so you make a living. You're willing to commute, which means you make a living. So you're making pretty good money working on physical stuff. Are you putting in AI data centers? Nah, I don't think that's it. I don't think those are 5 hours away from Seattle. They wouldn't be that far away. I'll figure it out. It'll come to me. Or you can give me a hint. Give me another hint, David. What your job is. Not in Canada. Many places where ordering everyone to work full-time in the office. Everybody works full-time in the office. We require full-time in the office. Here, guys, here's the thing. From like a management standpoint of working in the office, it is very difficult, number one, for people to be effective at home. The surveys and the research says, people are more effective at home. Not really. Plus, there's this component of serendipity. If you're just grinding and working stuff out and you're like a call center employee, working from home is fine because you can measure how many calls a person takes. If you're in a creative or working discipline where engaging with other people or anything else happens, as soon as you send an email, rather than saying, hey, is this up? You just added more friction and less efficiency by emailing a person. And people are lazier at home. I'm sorry. This is what it is. When you're in the office, the expectation and the focus is more present. But also working remotely removes you from the company. So like for me as a manager, if you come into the office, I get to say good morning to you every day. And I say like, hey man, morning. And then you go read my email. It says, why is this broken? If you only see that email, it sounds like, why is this broken? But if it's, hey, good morning, why is that broken? The tonality changes because you have a human interaction and you're like, I'm not in trouble for this. The boss isn't ripping on me. They're just asking the question. So it's a more positive interaction in person than like constant reminders via email, which are just irritating and annoying and inefficient. So not being in office creates all sorts of cultural problems. And if you're in a creative discipline, most of the value comes from small serendipitous moments, hearing someone else talking about something, all the rest of it. Even though it might be less efficient than being in your ideal world, it is something that can just mess with life. Um, in my crane at work, listening to you. How's it going, Red One? If you're running a crane, that's dangerous. You could hurt somebody. Everyone that can go into work should go in. I agree with that. It also, by the way, since we're a manufacturing company, the other cultural problem that like remote work creates is that people who work on the factory floor don't get to work from home because it's just not possible. They can't collect parts or process parts from home. But if the people who can work remote, the developers or the video producers get to work from home, they're better? No, they're not. They're not any better than anybody else who works on the factory floor. The people on the factory floor make the parts and get them out the door. That is really important to our business working. And the developers are thinking big thoughts or whatever it was. So yeah, it's just odd. Or it creates all kinds of problems. Remote work can create all sorts of problems that you don't really want to have in an organization. Safety first. Yeah. Alrighty, guys, we're probably going to wrap it up. Any other final questions here? Whoa, bunch of people over here. Sorry about that. Sorry, John. Question: is there a VOD version of the stream posted somewhere after? Yeah, it's posted over on YouTube. Seashell. Yeah, the stream all goes up on the Slant 3D YouTube channel. Being in the office creates other problems, which you've conveniently not talking about. Here's the problems that being inside the office creates. People have to have a commute, which is part of it, but that's also how you were hired. The commute was part of it generally when you were hired. Being inside of the office creates the cost of rent for the company. So if you're a fully remote company, it's great because you don't have to buy a building, which ideally could move stuff into other things. If you have employees, you want to use that space. That's the wrong reason to use the space, but it's one that they can use. But those problems are not as much as the cultural issues that can be created by creating a class system of remote and non-remote people. So remote really does not work in a manufacturing company. And the cultural problems of just the interaction with the team. Inside of the office, sure, you can have politics, and you can also have a loud office to where people are less efficient. That is all possible. Workspace Hero! Workspace Hero! Welcome, man! I love your stuff, by the way. To keep up the great work, your designs are awesome. Anybody else who's watching, you should go watch Workspace Hero. He's great, does excellent design for stuff around the workspace. So yeah, everybody go check that out because that's an amazing batch of stuff. Clement, how's it going? But yeah, as far as working inside the office, it can create a lower efficiency for people if you're in a noisy open plan office, but just don't do that. I'll give people respect or go to a conference room and that kind of thing. But the value of being in office, if you are a creative organization or a creative manufacturing organization, the value of being in office is far greater than the value of people being remote. The remote and the hybrid creates a class system, creates a lot of politics. And in a manufacturing company, the people who are on the line making the part have to make the part. And they don't get the option to work remote, even though they are as equally important as anyone writing software or making a video who is able to work remotely. Now, in a managerial standpoint, you can say every single employee is different. And that is true. Every single employee is different. But even so, while you want to create incentives for certain people, you want to set up a certain cultural expectation. And for us, we work inside the office so that we can be together, interacting for those serendipitous moments to create higher value creativity, and also so that there is not a perceived class system where some people are remote and not. Literally inside of our office, we have the offices are upstairs and production is downstairs. I hate that because it feels like upstairs, downstairs. And I don't like it. And I'm just about to kick everybody out of the office and build a space down on the factory floor to where everybody who's in the office works down on the factory floor. Because again, they're not any different or better than anybody who's making parts, but being upstairs creates this upstairs sort of a thing. But that's just where the offices happen to be, the way this old building was laid out. Intensive AR, please make videos under 1 hour to get YouTube automatic dubbing. Most of these videos are under 1 hour. These streams are, I don't know if they get dubbing. I'm not sure. But all the rest of our videos on the channel are under 1 hour. Oh, yeah. Be in an office. Also, yeah, the opportunities to praise and very explicitly interact and say, good job, man, and high five and all this other stuff that are very human interactions that are really useful. Okay. That's all what I got there, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all so much for joining, and I'll see y'all later. Keep up the work, and we'll have the stream again tomorrow, as we always do. So those will come up for a day. I listened to you in Spanish dubbing. Awesome, intensive AR. Yeah, we should be able to do that. All of our other channels are there. We might be able to split the stream into 2 if it ever goes over an hour, and that should help with it. All right. See y'all later. Have a good one. And we're going to end that right there. See y'all later.